real estate with Champions Real Estate Team at Berkshire Hathaway Home Service Ambassador Real Estate Company. My name is Mark Wehner II. We're jumping on a day late here, so apologize about that. But I was under the weather yesterday, so just wanted to wait a day before I jumped on camera here. So, but yeah, hope everyone had a great week. Enjoying that heat wave out there, man. It is a sweltering week this week. So, but our quick tip for the week. Just recently we had I have the listing and had the buyer in the transaction that basically we got notified this week that they had a big IRS bill that came due in the process. And so it was almost going to make them not able to close on the transaction. So things I would say with that from a buying perspective, ultimately making sure your tax returns are all in order when you're going to purchase, especially now that we're in August, tax returns should have been done and all that good stuff. They did qualify for the loan and all that. But the big thing you want to know is make sure all those taxes are in order. From a selling perspective, the only thing we can do is basically chat with the lender, make sure they're approved, they got all the documentation they need, and then if the buyer's doesn't know that they have that bill, we don't know. So you don't know what you don't know. But ultimately, everything's going to work itself out, and it's going to be great. So, but that's the thing I would tell any buyers looking to get in the swing of things is make sure those tax returns, because most lenders, and Russ can acknowledge this as well, is that they want the last 2 years of tax returns, pay stubs, things of that sort. And then obviously if you're a 1099 employee, commissioned employee, they're going to need, the same thing, the tax returns, showing that income and stuff to that sort. So, but that's a quick tip for the day. So let's jump into kind of what's going on in the real estate market here. There we are here. So let me share my screen, get our docs, we get our graphics here. So over the last 7 days, we've had 542 new listings go live. So that's kind of up from the previous weeks. We were kind of in the 400s. And then over in the pending contracts, we had 415 new contracts written, sold homes just under 400. Just had a house go. One of my investors just bought a house today. We actually just closed at 9 a.m. So still investors out there looking to buy houses and things of that sort. So there's a lot of transactions and deals to be had out there. You just got to know where to find them. So, but yeah, so we're kind of still seeing that 1 in, 1 out. We're getting a little more inventory, which we're going to pick up probably here as we go into the fall. Kids are back to school. Things are kind of getting the routines. You're getting activities and stuff. And then now, people might, this is where we see a little bit of a pickup in the market historically going through, and then it kind of tapers off as you get into the holiday season. But if you're still looking to buy and sell, now's a great time to get out there and do that stuff. So let's look at a 30,000 foot view of what's going on in the real estate market, kind of the broad picture. Like I said, each week, these numbers don't change that much. And I kind of use the example, if you're flying over the Midwest and you're seeing the interstate system, doesn't look like too many cars are moving on there, but you get down on the interstate, those cars are flying by. So this is kind of that 30,000 foot view where our numbers here don't change all that much, but the previous graphic shows how much is coming in and going out every single week. So we're still seeing a lot of activity, but just giving you a big picture, 2,500 homes in the Omaha and Lincoln MLS perspective from that side of it. When I got my real estate license in 2008, we had about 5,500 to 6,000 homes just in the Omaha MLS. So that we were not joined up yet with Lincoln. So this is we're still pretty low inventory side of it. When you break it down in the Omaha metro area, Douglas-Sarpy County, we're 1,437 existing homes for sale in the Omaha metro area is 631. That's all price points. New construction, we're 806 months of inventory, 1.7. That went down just a little bit from the previous week. Our average sold price is kind of staying where we're seeing it. It's gone up another $1,000, up 6.3% from the previous year. So when we're kind of seeing those houses now, some people are like, well, let's wait and see what interest rates are going to do. Let's wait and see what the market's going to do. I think just basically from what the numbers are showing us, just a simple inventory, those houses that if you're going to wait till next spring and let's see there's more houses coming on, there's still houses coming on all the time. And if you jump in and if rates get a little bit better, potentially, you're going to see more buyers flood into the market with that less inventory, hence prices are going to go up. Whereas if you can kind of keep your pedal on, on the gas and just keep moving forward and just keep looking for houses as they come up, one inevitably is going to pop up, and hopefully you can get with less competition out there. Still seeing multiple offers in certain price ranges and all that good stuff. But yeah, it's kind of what I see from the real estate side. I guess, Russ, what are you kind of seeing from the mortgage side?
Mortgage rates in the last couple of weeks were at 20-year highs, but they did improve just a little bit yesterday. And a significant reason for that, Mark, was because the Bureau of Labor Statistics revised their year over year employment numbers down by 300,000, which means roughly 25,000 per month on average over reporting of new jobs created. We've talked many times that we're seeing inflation improve, and the last thing to fall before we hit a recession or before the economy hits the bottom, so to speak, and rates start to get better is jobs. And so with those jobs numbers being adjusted over the last year, that doesn't point to having as strong of a jobs economy as what the Fed has been kind of touting. So does that mean rates are going to get better tomorrow? No, but that does point to the increased likelihood that we could see some improvement in rates as we head into the fourth quarter and expect to be a pretty strong year next year. Having said that, as we've talked about many times, every 1% drop in interest rates increases borrowing power by roughly 10%. So what that means to you that are sitting on the sidelines not buying homes is, yes, you may be able to potentially qualify for a little bit more home next year, but so is everybody else. So don't wait. Buy the house at today's prices as opposed to wait until next year. If we happen to see rates drop, it's quite likely that that will increase the number of buyers out there. That means more demand. And when we look at that ratio of supply versus demand, we know that supply is low. If demand goes up, that's very likely could put more upward pressure on home prices. So you could end up paying the same amount of monthly payment for a house next year at a lower rate than you would pay today on a house at the higher rates and the lower price. So don't wait. Get out there and buy the house now. All signs are pointing to a very strong housing market next year.
Yeah. I mean, we're seeing the same thing from the real estate side of it, but yeah, it's still a great time to buy and sell, and there's houses coming on and off all the time. And we get, phone calls and stuff of people, hey, we're thinking about selling our house. So we kind of have houses that are off the market that we know that are potentially coming on the market. And if we can kind of, essentially play matchmaker out there, then that's a great opportunity for the buyer to get that house. Seller's able to maybe go find a house, because that's kind of the conundrum that we're in. Well, we don't want to sell a house. We don't have a place to go. But being flexible in that manner really helps out. So, but I think that's kind of a good rundown of what's gone on in real estate over the last week. But if you have any questions, feel free to give us a holler, or you can give Russ a holler 290-8936, or give myself a holler 402-672-7670. Call, text. If you have any comments, questions, you can send them in our comment section. I think we're on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all sorts of stuff. So we check it. If you have questions, give us a holler. Happy to do one-on-one. Happy to jump on a Zoom call with you, or whatever works best for you, and go from there. So appreciate your time, and have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll see you next week.